How's it going, everyone? We got some big news to talk about in this video. Activision titles potentially staying on PlayStation for longer than many of us had initially expected. NieR Automata is having a 5th anniversary live stream that is set for February the 23rd. We have some more costumes coming to a PlayStation title. Sackboy, A Big Adventure gets some costumes celebrating Horizon Forbidden West's upcoming launch, and Scarlet Nexus gets some new DLC. We'll talk about that at the end of this video. Always like to bring some awareness to a great JRPG, and Scarlet Nexus is definitely one of them. Again, more on that at the end of this video. But first up, news making the rounds over on Microsoft's blog page. There is some interesting information regarding Activision acquisition by Microsoft and regarding the games coming to PlayStation. Alright, let's go over the excerpt, noting, quote, "First, some commentators have asked whether we will continue to make popular content like Activision's Call of Duty available on competing platform like Sony's PlayStation. The obvious concern is that Microsoft could make this title available exclusively on the Xbox console, undermining opportunities for Sony PlayStation users. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. We believe this is the right thing for the industry, for gamers, and for our business." Now, I have to see it be executed because $70 billion. So we're talking about $70 billion, and for them to acquire Activision and then still ultimately release every Activision title on PlayStation platforms with no strings attached, that's just something I can't believe. Now, Call of Duty might be a game that ultimately sees, parity in its releases on PlayStation and Xbox. I could see that happening, but every game, if we're talking about, let's say, a Crash 5 happening, or any of Activision's wealth of IPs being restored and revived with a new title, I find it a little bit hard to believe that every single one of them will hit Sony's PlayStation the day and day with the Xbox and I would think the PC release. I just find that a little bit hard to believe because, again, you're talking $70 billion, and yes, you can make the argument that there's definitely a lot of incentives to release the games on PlayStation, but I would have to imagine that a big reason they acquired Activision is, one, so they have content for Game Pass, and two, they have some exclusive content on their own platform. Obviously, you know, quote-unquote exclusive, they are going to be available on PC, but I've always been of the mindset that the console and PC market are more distinct than, let's say, a console versus console market, where there definitely is, you know, a bit of picking and choosing when you talk about people picking up a console. Yes, it might go down the route of people having to have either a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox. You have to just pick one, or it's going to be more of a case of people are just going to, you know, go down the route of buying both consoles so they can play the Starfields of the world and they can still play the Horizons, or maybe they'll substitute their Xbox for a PC. See a lot of people on social media talking about how PS5 and PC is the move going forward. One could even make the argument that PC alone, because a lot of the PlayStation games are coming to PC, but that's still, you know, there's a window of time you have to wait and yada 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 on that, but it will be interesting. I think the best case scenario, like Call of Duty going full-on exclusive, the more I think about it, that would just be a wild move, and I think that would upset a lot of people, but at the same time, Call of Duty has such a casual audience as well that I think it could be a driving force for people to jump on over to a different console. Like that, I think, could be a seller. I know Vanguard didn't do incredibly well from a critical and commercial standpoint, comparatively speaking to some of the other Call of Duty games, but, you know, they drop another Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and it's received incredibly well. The story on that game's reception is going to change really quickly. I should say the IP's reception is going to change quickly, so I'm going to still take a wait-and-see approach, but this is making me a little bit more optimistic with the Activision acquisition, and Bungie looking like they're going to remain a multi-platform studio. Again, you want to see it ultimately happen through execution. We know Call of Duty is going to remain on PlayStation for at least the next few years due to the existing agreements already in place, but beyond that, it will be interesting to see how things shake out. Alright, moving on from that, NieR Automata 5th anniversary live stream is set for February the 23rd. Some sort of information will be revealed, but I would see this more of a celebration. I could see a NieR Automata, like a Nintendo Switch release, maybe. I think they could get NieR Automata working on the Nintendo Switch. I could see like a PlayStation 5 release. That could be something. Maybe like a re-release on Xbox Series as well. We'll see what things happen, but wouldn't expect like a new major announcement as far as a new NieR title or anything like that, but maybe we'll see something to sink our teeth into. But yeah, NieR Automata is an excellent game. You can get it fairly cheap these days, and yes, has some terrific music, obviously gameplay done by Platinum Games, so it's great from a gameplay standpoint. Story a bit confusing at first, but then it really comes together quite nicely by the end, and then if you play Replicant, if you play Automata, you really see that there is quite a bit of, thought put into the story. The story is kind of wild when you piece everything together. Definitely a game I recommend. I loved Replicant as well. A game I often recommend, maybe not at complete full price, but because it's not as good as Automata, but these days you can probably find it for like $30, so yeah, play both of them, and 5th anniversary live stream set for February the 23rd. Alright, moving on from that, I do want to quickly note Sackboy, A Big Adventure, is getting some new costumes, much like Ghost of Tsushima did yesterday. We're getting a Horizon, a pair of costume, an Aloy and Silence costumes. I really like the Aloy costume here. The Silence costume is alright as well, but that is going to be available free for Sackboy, A Big Adventure come February the 18th. That is the launch day of the game as well, so that is pretty cool. I like the synergy that we're seeing with the PlayStation releases. I believe they've done this in the past as well, but would be cool if we saw this as a regular thing. You know what would be pretty darn cool? If we got like a custom Horizon Spider-Man suit. I think that would be really cool. I don't know how you would work it out into Spider-Man, but I think that would be pretty darn cool. So maybe we'll see that at some point because there's a lot of opportunity there. Lastly, speaking of additional content, Scarlet Nexus DLC Brain Eater Pack has been released. Now, this is including a new story episode, 2 different costume sets for all characters, new Vision Simulator missions, as well as other new challenges and rewards. This is a paid expansion, so that is something to note, but you're getting a new story episode here. They have been dropping quite a few free updates. They just dropped another free update. I believe it added a photo mode and a very hard mode. Bandai Namco has been relatively committed to this game, adding content consistently, so good on them for that. And maybe this game did better commercially than I had originally thought, because they've been rather committed to it. Maybe plans for that were already in place well before the game even came out and they saw the sales numbers, but really, I think there's a positive sign with Scarlet Nexus. Maybe it's been picking up in sales, and hopefully we saw the developers talk about a potential sequel, how they want to take it into a more mature route if they ultimately get greenlit for a sequel. Would love to see a sequel at the end of Scarlet Nexus. You could see there's a lot of different directions they could go with a potential sequel. You could even start over, a new cast of characters, and everything like that, but I think you can carry the characters over. It'll be interesting to see, because I think they have a solid IP here with Scarlet Nexus, and hopefully they can develop that into one of their core pillars for JRPGs. You know, Tales of is really having a lot of steam right now, with Tales of Arise being incredibly well received. Scarlet Nexus, while I wouldn't say it was as well received, it was still a pretty darn good JRPG. I really enjoyed it, had a good bit of content. Now they're keeping it, fresh and updated with new content, and these days you can get it fairly cheap. I believe during Black Friday it was like $25 new, and that price has been readily available. So if you're a fan of JRPGs, definitely go check it out. I know some people give it some flack with more of a visual novel presentation with its story, with a lack of cutscenes. There are some cutscenes, but you do have moving still images and things like that. The music in the game is great, the combat is pretty solid, and I think overall the positives of the game greatly outweigh the negatives, and I would highly recommend it, and nice to see it continue to get more content. But that's going to do it for me. Again, as far as Activision goes, some optimism definitely to be had with that Microsoft blog post, so hopefully that does continue. NieR Automata having a 5th anniversary stream, Sackboy, A Big Adventure getting some DLC on February the 18th, and Scarlet Nexus gets a new DLC pack in the Brain Eater pack. Go check that out if you're a fan of the game. If you haven't played it yet, go buy the game. I thought it was quite good. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.